Well, good morning again, everybody. Hi, Tanner, Adam, Phyllis, Laura. Hi again. Appreciate you all joining me. I take it that you guys can hear me real well, and just wanted to take
Yes.
a few minutes to kind of plot out and chart out a plan that I've put in place. I've been getting a lot of great feedback these last 6 months in regards to my communication, my follow up, and the way that I've been handling everybody's clients and just the overall process. So I put an actual plan in place because everybody's looking for more business, and it's not just about, hey, what do I do with your referrals when you send them my way? Of course, that's extremely important, but what if we can turn the tables a little bit and we can set up a plan where I can start bringing you guys qualified referrals in return, right? And we help each other, support each other, and growing each other's businesses. So hopefully that sounds good to you. And I'm going to lay out kind of a simple process, but it's easier said than done, right? It's the implementation that takes this thing to an effective level, and it's been working well. So I call it get in the loop, right? So we're gonna bring you into the loop, and it stands for level up plan. So we're essentially gonna work to convert current leads, current closings into more leads and closings for you in return. And here's essentially the basics. Now, we all know that prospecting is key to keeping our pipelines full. So you're all out there doing that. You're going on Caravan. You're doing your phone calls. You're hopefully marketing to your past database. If you don't have a past database yet, you're calling your friends, your relatives, your previous coworkers, all those different people. The reality is that we all have a past database. Sometimes they might not be clients, but certainly there's gold to be found in those things. The problem is that a lot of times we aren't consistent in our prospecting, and that's one of the things that I want to help you do. We know that we can agree that it's a must. We got to do that. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be us, as long as we have somebody supporting us. Nobody likes a cold call, but that's something that I've had to really get comfortable with doing. Cold, warm, everything in between. And of course, part of what's going to happen here through the prospecting is generating more leads for you guys. And the other things that you're doing probably already, or that you thought about doing that can work, is direct mail, email campaigns, a social media presence. Of course, all those things are important and help as an ancillary way, but the most important thing is going to be that direct conversation, or that direct engagement that you do. So the next part of the transaction, when we get into a process, just so you understand, kind of explain what happens when you send me a potential buyer referral, buyer lead. There's 4 C's that I'm taking them through, and the first is super important, is the connection piece. And the connection happens when a referral is made. And I want to show you guys a better way, at least one way that I've found has been really, really successful. When you have that conversation and you say, hey, it'd be great to have get you a second opinion. I have a great guy that I work with, whether or not they're working with a lender, and you're having these conversations. And the way that I refer, and the way that I have found a lot of success with agents refer, is when we just assume it, right? When we're in the process of the conversation, and you say, hey, I'm going to connect you with one of my best lenders, one of my preferred lenders, somebody that I have a good relationship with, however you're gonna word it, and I'm gonna make an introduction to you right now. So doing a text introduction or an email introduction versus saying, hey, I gave so and so your contact information, does a few things. One, it ensures that there's going to be a connection made, and two, it takes the guesswork out of, hey, I sent your contact information to so and so. Where are they at in the approval process? And I get those calls, and unfortunately, well, that lead never actually reached out, so I'm not even sure what's going on. When there's an email or text introduction, then the onus is on me to follow up and make sure that happens. And it's just part of a value add service, whether they're working with somebody or not. The way I refer my insurance guy, because I really like him, he's really responsive, is the same way. I'm doing the initial loan consultation, and then at the end, when we're actually in escrow, I'll let him know, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my preferred insurance guy. It just to get a second opinion. He's really fast. He's on top of it. He's always available, and typically he can get you the best pricing. So whether you have your own person or not, you're free to use them. So that's how I refer, and that's how those connections get made. And a lot of times we can save money, which of course helps with their overall debt to income and everything else. So the connection is important. Next is the commitment. So once we have that initial consultation and I determine and let you know, whether they're red, green, or yellow, meaning, hey, this is somebody that we're going to get approved based off of everything that it looks like here. There should be no problem. Or, hey, we're putting this mortgage plan in place to get them to a place where they can be approved because there's these things. And then the other one will be, hey, you know what? Do not waste your time. Don't take them out looking at properties because they're going to be 6 months to a year out. So that's another thing, kind of a line of defense to guard against your time that I like doing for you, so you know exactly what's going on. Because a lot of times people feel like they're approvable, they want you to show them places, only to find out, what, they're not going to be a qualified prospect right now. Hang on one sec. Let me admit somebody else here, and it should be good to go. Okay, so that's when we get them to a commitment. We get it, of course, usually typically within 24 hours to get the initial pre-approval, so you can start showing them properties. But what I always do is I take them into the next process to get them fully underwritten, so that we can turn that pre-approval into a full-on commitment and really give them the confidence to go out there. The next, of course, is a contract. Once we're in a contract, the first thing that I do is connect with title and escrow. And I'm going to show you kind of how I expand on that a little bit later. And then the fourth C, which is one of the most important parts once we're in there, is communication. Communication on the upfront process, in the process, and post-closing and past database. And we're going to talk about how that's going to help generate more clients for you guys as well. Everything pretty clear there?
Crystal, I love it. I love it, man. Bring that energy.
So far, so good. All right. Let me double check the chat again. Let me see if there's anybody waiting to get admitted. I know Allison clicked on here. Yeah, Allison. Okay, everything is good. Just wanted to make sure nobody's being kept waiting. All right, so that's the initial process, right? So now we're going to talk about the daily disciplines that I employ, and as part of my level up plan that we're all going to get in the loop on. So that's really the key, is the consistency. It's doing a great thing once or twice doesn't get us anywhere with anybody. So the first thing that I'm going to do, on my Monday calls, I'm calling your colleagues, I'm calling you, I'm calling different people that might have questions, that might need an update, and just to check in, just to continue that relationship, because we never know who can be a referral. Even your colleagues could be great referrals for you guys and for us. But on Tuesdays, once we have a file in place, Tuesdays I call all parties in the transaction, and this is something that very few lenders or loan officers do. And what I mean by everybody, okay, I mean everybody. So I'm going to call the borrowers, I'm going to call the co-borrower, I'm going to call you as the buyer's agent, I'm going to call you if you're the listing agent, I'm going to call the escrow officer, I'm going to call the insurance agent. Essentially, it's everybody on that call. And on that call every Tuesday is just a basic Tuesday update. It's literally it can be a 10-second, 15-second conversation, and you'd be surprised how many escrow officers, insurance agents, other people on that list that are surprised, who are used to seeing transactions, that they're always the ones chasing after the updates of what's going on. And obviously, if there's relevant updates within the week, of course I'm gonna do those too. But at least they're getting touched every single week. And how does this start to help you? Well, it's all about how you say goodbye. And this is another thing when you're prospecting and you're doing different things. I would encourage you to take some of these things with you. And so how you say goodbye is you give an update to the borrower, you give an update to whoever it is, the escrow company. You say, hey, you know what? I'm glad everything's going really, really well. And it's my goal to help at least 60 other people in the coming 6 months. I'd love to work with somebody like you again. Can I count on you to give me a call anytime you have a friend, family, coworker looking to buy, sell, or refi? Yeah. And then typically the answer is going to be yes. Right? They're not used to getting the update for one, getting that value add, and they're not used to getting asked for the business. That's one of the reasons that so many people don't do business, is because they don't ask for it. And I found, especially a lot of top producing real estate agents, if you just go out there and you try to meet them, you say hello, and then you're too scared to even ask for the business. Hey, because everybody has a lender, everybody has an insurance person, everybody has an escrow company, everybody has somebody already. But I just find, hey, asking for the business is actually a compliment to them, and that's what we're going to do. And then guess what? If they say yes, and somebody comes through that referral because you're the one who referred that buyer, and you brought me into the transaction, any referral that comes from any of those sources and any of those Tuesday calls is going to get qualified and sent directly right back to you with a pretty bow saying, hey, here's what they're looking for. All right, Wednesday is we're calling our past database. Okay, so that's my past database of clients, and also past database of other people involved in the transaction potentially. And that's one thing that I know is critical for you guys as agents. With different surveys that I've done, I know that it's a part of struggle for everybody, loan officers, real estate agents, just having that consistent follow-up with the past database is really critical, because it's already people that had a good experience with you. And the surveys say that, and this changes because the survey changes, the timeline changes, but they say that when they interview people and they surveyed people, they say that typically over 93% of clients are satisfied with the real estate agent and what they've done, and they say that they would use them again. And when they were surveyed years down the road, only 13% of those people actually use the same real estate agent. So that leads all the data to believe that they were happy, they would have used the agent. The only reason they didn't is because that agent didn't keep in touch with their past database and just touch base periodically throughout the year. So that's one of the things that I do on autopilot for you guys. But at least once a quarter, I'm also touching base with these people. And as the list grows, you have to do chunks on every Wednesday. So we do alphabetically, right? And it's the same kind of thing. Hey, how you been? Are you happy? Did you move in? Did you install that barbecue? Did you have that housewarming party we were talking about? And just do a quick connection, make it about them. Of course, because we care, we're interested, and we want to know and hear their feedback. And then it's the same thing. 2-3 minute conversation at most, and at the end of that conversation, it's just about saying goodbye a different way, right? I'm so happy that I got to work with you. I'd love to work with more awesome people like you. Can I count on you to give me a call anytime your friends, family, or coworkers want to buy, sell, or refi? And the answer is always yes. And the leads do come. And pay particular attention to how I'm asking, right? I don't say, can I count on you to send them my way? Can I count on you to give them my information? Because we already talked about that's a less effective way to refer, right? But when that client commits to giving me a call and say, hey, I have a friend that wants to call. Sometimes they call me with them on the phone. Sometimes they call me and say, hey, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so, and then they'll do a text or an email. But asking them to give me a call ensures that connection will actually take place. And because they had a good experience, they're going to do it. All right. So again, that client, let's just say you originally referred me that client, we closed on it. I continue to follow up with them a minimum once a quarter. Of course, there's other touches, birthdays and different things throughout the year. And then there's drip campaigns. So they're getting different touches, but it's always the phone calls is the most effective. And I called 2 people yesterday, and it's been almost a year since we closed. So it was their loan anniversary. And they were like stoked to hear from me, right? They're amazed and happily surprised that you even remember them or remember their name. And so it makes a difference. So when that client comes, one of those people, if it was one of your clients, and they say, yeah, you know what, I have so-and-so that's looking to do it, we'll get that client approved, and it's going to go right back into your hands to go find them a home. Then you see where we're going. Thursdays is also another important call. I call that day call my PALS day, and PALS stands for pre-approved and looking. So on those days are days that for clients that you referred or we brought in together somehow, and they're already approved, they're out there looking, and last year people were getting beat up, and then things are changing. So the purpose of those calls is twofold. One is always the agent uplift, right? Edification, just remind them how awesome you are, remind them what a great choice they made in selecting you as their agent, and then getting a sense for where they're at. Are they fatigued? I'll call it future casting. Remind them of why they're needing that house. Remind them of that extra room that's going to be so helpful when that baby comes. Remind them of those summer barbecues, whatever their kind of hot buttons were while we were getting to know each other and developing a relationship. We want to remind them of those things so that they stay engaged with you and they keep looking, and they don't fall off the train, if you will, and we end up in an escrow. So that's really important. And guess what? Different way to say goodbye. You gotta say goodbye the exact same way to those people, because even though we haven't closed a transaction, they're still excited, they're still getting contacted from us, they're still happy, and they're going to have other friends or family. They say about 13% of your total sphere of influence and network is moving about once a year. So at some point that's gonna sometimes you call. The majority of time, of course, is they don't know anybody, but it's that one time that you call that, oh yeah. And the coolest story, it actually happened with one of your colleagues. I hadn't called her for about a couple of months because she's not super active, but I call and I ask the question and she's like, oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I have this person. And I got him in contact with him that same day, got him approved the next day, and we had him under contract within a week and closed 3 weeks later. So sometimes it's going to happen really, really fast like that. So it's really important to have that consistency in those connections, because even the people that love us, they just forget. So hearing from us is very important. And then same thing, you refer me that buyer, maybe you didn't find him a home yet or her a home yet, but they thought, what, my buddy was asking because they're looking to move or they're looking to do something. And then that other person comes in, and then now guess what? Now you have two people that are pre-approved and looking for a home because of that referral and that connection that came from you. All right. Now, what's the other reason that we call our pals on Thursdays? Thursdays is mini Friday, right? So what are you going to be doing? More than likely, you're going to be showing them properties. They're going to be going to open houses. They're going to be checking stuff out. So part of the reason for the Thursday call is to see if there's any changes to their job, their income, their employment, the price of the property that maybe they're interested in, or what they're doing, so that we can make sure that approval is still solid going into the weekend. Just in case we find something, we put in an offer and we get it under contract, we know and we're confident that everything is solid. Especially right now with the way things have been changing so rapidly these last 6 months, it's very important that we're making those Thursday calls, we're checking in on them, and we're making sure that you have the most up-to-date information when you're out there showing them homes. So far so good.
Crystal clear, man. I love it. I love the Thursdays. Let's go. I love it.
All right. So, this is basically how it helps you. Right? I've already been alluding to all those things, but the point is, every time I call somebody, no matter what it is, you got to ask for the referral. You got to ask for it. And it's not pushy. It's not salesy. So all of you who maybe struggled with this or may feel a little weird about it, let me tell you that I did too, until I realized we're not pushing or salesy or doing anything. We're actually helping people. Okay. If we're in this business and we really care for people, it's going to show, and we're out there to help them. Okay, that's what we're doing when we're asking them for a referral. We're asking them for things. It's not to pitch them, or it's not to get something from them. It's so that we can add value to more people. And if we truly believe that about ourselves, we'd be doing the world a disservice if we didn't ask. We're doing our families a disservice if we didn't ask, because we got to pay for college. We got to go on family trips. We got to do those things that are the most important, right? Because we work to live, not live to work. And that's an important balance that I try to keep myself accountable to. But the other thing, of course, is just the uplift is always important, because we know we all have competition. Everything is funky out there. And so just reaffirming decisions like, hey, you made a great decision in selecting Adam. You made a great decision in selecting Phyllis or Allison, or any one of you. Hey, you made a great decision. I love working with them. It's going to be awesome. They're going to totally help you, and vice versa. But it works both ways. But reaffirming that client made a good decision also helps them realize, okay, hey, looking for this home right now is a good decision too, because I have a great team supporting me. So goal, continue to uncover those warm referrals for you. And so as we do that and we continue to build, part of the other thing is the benefit of working with me and doing, part of this plan. I don't know, you've probably never seen this before, I would imagine, and most people aren't doing it, but I invest in myself. I take mentorship, I take coaching, pretty high level guys in the mortgage world. And the reality is that we're here to create a customer for life strategy to help you and to help me with you as your partner and as your friend. So I'm going to go over some of the things that I think are really going to be differentiators from what you see out there. Some things are going to be pretty exclusive to me, and other things, of course, you can find somewhere else. It's just a matter of whether that person is able to or willing to do it. This right here is something that, of course, you're not going to get with any of the big online guys, the Rockets and the Loan Depots and oh, you fill in the name, right? Because their strategy is to get the client, and then they market to that client, because they're also creating real estate divisions. So for me, the whole idea is for us to continue to work and prosper together into the long term, because I'm in this for the long haul. I know you are too. But as that client comes in, we get them approved, we close them, we continue to do the co-marketing kind of touches through email with your branded information and mine, and of course the calls and uplift and everything else, and so that the circle stays inside, and as those leads come from one way, they go back to you, and hopefully vice versa, right? So
I'll
that's
call
what
those I'll call Loan Depot and those big guys ambulance chasers.
there you go.
Just like an attorneys.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just, and I don't
We
make it
won't go there. We
I
have
don't make it a
ethics.
habit to disparage anybody. I just know that there's differences, because I hear about it. I hear about it from clients. I'm stepped in twice this week to try to salvage a deal. I'm actually the third guy, and so one of your colleagues too, and Anita. I won't mention too many details uh, in case she doesn't want me to, but the reality is that she asked her client, "You got to talk to my guy. You got to talk to my." When trouble was arising, she went and she chose a different lender, and still was a little bit of bumpy water. She finally agreed to talk to me, and now we got contingencies that are due in 2 days, and we're working to put a plan together, right? But it's looking a lot different already, just on the front end. So that's we just know, and I can take pride in the fact that I know what I do, and great feedback that I've gotten from a lot of you guys. So now I'm going to get into some of those differentiators and some of those ways that I can help you and your clients. And this is a new thing that I've added that's pretty exclusive to me. It's just a relocation concierge, whether they're moving across the street or whether they're moving out of the state. And I know some of you are very involved. You help your clients with all this. You make phone calls to companies and to utilities and internet, and or you try to guide them and direct them in the right way, or they're doing those phone calls themselves. What this is it's 100% free service to you, free service to them. It's another value add that you can also use as part of your listing presentations and your value adds for your buyers, whatever it is. And they get access to all these things. They make one phone call to the concierge, and they'll help them set up all those different home services. The utilities will give them information on local things and events and all kinds of cool stuff. And all you do is just connect them, and they go from there. And because they have, basically enterprise pricing to all these different vendors nationwide, typically their home internet, their cable, their phones, all those things are more than likely going to be an even lower cost than if they reached out to them directly. So this is I think a huge thing. Any client that you have, I'm going to talk to them, of course, about it. But if you have somebody on the sideline, or you're helping somebody I'm not working with, I can just send you just a quick link. They can click the link, they can put in their information, and the concierge reaches out to them directly. There's really a lot of time savings on your side and on them, because they don't have to make all these calls individually. So that's super cool. The next thing that I'm announcing is the fact that I can help people in multiple states. So not just California, of course, on the investment side of things, can do most of the nation, but on the owner occupied side of things, whether they're moving to or moving from, because a lot of times you guys are helping people that are moving out of state, and you can still bring them into, hey, we're going to service you as part of our team. We're going to take care of you and make sure that you're well taken care of wherever you're going. You get the best service and the best options. So these are the ones in red are the ones that I am now approved in. Another value add for you, I'm a big believer in continual education, and that's something that Brian Tracy taught me a long time ago when he was talking about your car and so much of the driving, the commuting we do. He's like, your car is a 4-year university. When I first started on my entrepreneurship journey, and I quit my insurance position and early career. I mean, it's my career for 10 years. And I was driving around a lot, meeting with investors and rehabbing homes and doing all this kind of stuff. I didn't listen to music in my car for 2.5 years, if you can believe that. It was just audiobooks, podcasts, and different things. And so what I'm offering to you as part of a membership that I participate in is an amazing agent mastermind set of classes. And they're weekly invitation only training. And I know you guys get training through Berkshire and through some of the other brokerages that are represented, agents that I work with. But these are also other individual classes that are going to be 100% free for you. They're going to cover a wide network, a wide array of topics. So these are just some of the past classes and categories that have been presented. It's everything from marketing to pipeline management to prospecting to leads. I mean, giving presentations, listing appointments, increasing your referability, like all kinds of stuff, social media, you name it. These are some past classes, and then these are some of the categories that you guys will be able to participate in, right? Whether you want to build a team, business building, technology, strategy, social media, what top producers are doing, a bunch of most requested type classes. And so these are every week you get an opportunity to register for whatever classes is being given that week. And of course, these are recorded, so you can always go back through the archives and do that kind of stuff. So this normally, I mean, it is a paid service, but I'm offering it to you guys exclusively for free through special invitation, and you'll be able to take advantage of that every single week if you want. The other cool thing, of course, technology and co-branded support. So when we're talking about listing flyers, or Adam Rejwan asked me for, and you guys might have seen the email that I sent out yesterday, or this morning, I should say, or not, just a little while ago. Just what do we do in terms of the partnership? What are the benefits, and how do we do either a listing package or present ourselves in a co-branded way, so that when we're marketing out there, we're supporting each other again. And it could be property sites. I know a lot of times you guys don't need those, but certainly flyers and other marketing material and other marketing helps. We have an app. I mean, there's so many cool different things that I can help you with from a marketing standpoint through our marketing team. All right, so these are just some of the other kind of standard but important things that you get working with me and my team. Of course, we talk about this all the time, getting full loan commitments, not just pre-approvals. Don't have an application fee. There's still some people out there. It's pretty rudimentary, but it's important to note. There's no upfront credit fee. Of course, we have the local and national competitive advantage, but you all work locally for the most part. So it's important to clients to say, hey, look, we have a local guy. And he's able to help you. If you want to meet with him, you can meet with him. If not, he'll Zoom, whatever it is. But knowing the local market's important. And here's something new. I can now offer a 15-day close. Right. So when we're getting into these offers, I've been seeing that competitive advantage creep more and more. Right. It was kind of like nobody was in a hurry to close before 30 days. Some were asking for 45. Some were asking for 90-day rent backs. Now we're back into, hey, can we close in 21 days? Can we close in 21 days? can we do that? Well, what if we can close in 15 days? Because now a lot of people are saying they can close in 21 days. And yes, some lenders will want to go use the restroom if you ask them to do that, apparently. But one-stop shop for all loan programs. That means that we're not just doing FHA, VA, conventional, jumbo, and that sort of thing. And we have every investor program, no income qualifying, super jumbo. I can actually go up to 30 million on a loan size, if that ever was the case. And bank statements, 1099s, foreign national. So all the different things, whether it's owner occupied, investor, or secondary home. Really, we always take a team approach also, which is important, because everybody needs to know what's going on with a file. So I brought on a loan assistant, so loan officer assistant, we call them our LOAs. Of course, I have my processor, and with that help, everybody knows what's going on, so that if I'm on an appointment or a meeting or doing something with the family, somebody needs something right away, everybody knows what's going on and can be taken care of right away. Listing appointment support, again, I can help you with different materials, different things that we do as part of the process to help vet buyers, and all other support that we do for our listing agents. The listing packages, of course, are one of them, and the deliberate post-closing nurture campaigns is we kind of already talked about. There's a minimum of 1 year that a client is getting touched multiple times with co-marketed branding material to keep you top of mind, because that first year there's could be a lot of opportunities where somebody comes up, or they're having a housewarming parties, they're doing different things, and other people get excited about it. Hey, you know what, we've been thinking about moving, and keeping you top of mind will help with that, in addition to the phone calls. The red, yellow, green pre-approvals I kind of mentioned already. This isn't just a time-saving thing for you, where I'm going to tell you, hey, thanks so much for referring so-and-so over to me. We've gotten this far. You'll know that we're in the process because I copy you on emails and things like that. But we can say, hey, look, these guys are hot and heavy. Let's stay on top of them. Let's help them out. They're gonna be very active. These guys are almost ready, and you know what? Let's just kindly put a plan in place for them, but let them know if they want to see houses, they got to just go check out open houses and do things on their own, because it's not the best use of your guys' time. All right, and then kind of to close, who doesn't like Willy Wonka, the chocolate factory? And that's it, guys. I really appreciate the fact that you guys got on here, that your support throughout the last couple of years, and we're gonna do some great things here to finish the year off strong and start 2023 on the right foot as well. And at this time, I just want to open it up for any comments, questions, or anything like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, if I may interject, I know I'm actually pulling the trigger here a little bit early before you even had, before you actually gave that opening platform for us. I do appreciate your time here. I just want to say kudos. I took some golden nuggets here. Selling 60 homes a year. I slowed down, of course, obviously, for obvious reasons, personal issues and whatnot. But nobody buys a Ferrari with excuses. But I do want to give you kudos with the red, yellow, green. I do like that. It's hot and heavy. You can see who's hot and heavy. I do love that. That's one of the golden nuggets I took from there.
Awesome.
I also like the fact that you connect with them on Thursdays, man. As a producer and somebody that I actually have, I spend a lot of money on mentors with Mike Ferry, Jimmy Sandoval, Neil Weichel. I mean, I'm not dropping names, just drop names. But Thursdays, I believe it's people have actually, when I say people, I'm referring to our consumers, our clients. They're going to have these notions in their head because of the media. The media's they're not like us, where we are actually putting our blinders on and just focusing on podcasts and bringing value and learning, which is something that we should be doing all the time, instead of just listening to some, I don't know, Cardi B, or I don't know what you guys listen to, whatever the hell it is. I listen to Frank Sinatra. But Thursdays, and we'll do it our way. And I do love that you connect with them, because I feel that one of the things that lacks from our not our vendors, because essentially a team effort, and I don't look at you guys as a vendor. I look at us as a team when it comes down to I'm an agent,
Yeah.
soon to be broker. I do love that you connect with them on Thursdays because you kind of kill the notion for not only that week but also for the upcoming week. So you kind of set the tonality for what's to come, and you can actually give us the opportunity for that weekend, which we hit the concrete pretty hard as a buyer's agent or listing agent on the weekends. So I do love that. If you may, and maybe we could go ahead and connect later about it. A
Yeah.
photocopy of the states that you personally handle or a list, perhaps, so that way I can put it in my
Yeah.
top producer database or whatever database you might use. Line Desk, which is free if you're in the SRAR conference here.
Okay.
That would be great. So I copy and paste, make it
Absolutely.
easier for us. That'd be great, man. And then also another thing that you mentioned, and give me about 45 seconds and I'll be done, folks. I apologize
Oh,
to the other
I've had
realtors
it.
here. How to get REO listings and asset managers. I do actually have, and this is a
Mhm.
personal note here for me and you, Ivan. I do actually have BPO accounts
Okay.
on throughout the throughout the nation here. So let's connect on that one. Digital
Sure.
marketing and flyers. I do want to connect on that one as well. I mean, I do want to go ahead and not want to. I don't use that word want. We either do or we don't.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm going to be, and I'm going to be, and I am connecting by door knocking. And you might, if some of you folks might, some of you agents might not like door knocking, which is totally cool. So whatever works for you guys.
Yeah.
So if you could, maybe we could connect on that one a little bit later on. But
Sure.
yeah,
You can also do
I do
some
appreciate.
focus farms if you don't have your title person doing that already.
Oh yeah, I mean we do it all. I mean you got to get down to the basics. I've been doing this since for 18 years and grew up with these old timers. And these old timers, you know what? At the end of the day, they're working less. They're putting less effort because it's systematic. And meaning systematic that you start creating your database and it's just boom, keep it in touch like you're just saying.
Right.
Um, I wanted to ask you a question on a different subject that you brought up here. Is the
Sure.
two letters of the alphabet? What is that? Like when you mentioned two letters of the alphabet, what can you elaborate on that if
Yeah.
you
So
don't mind?
it's just so you're not calling your entire past database in once a week, right? So it depends on how big your current past database is. If you have a list of 500 clients, then you're obviously, if you just take a couple letters out of the alphabet and call each one of those persons once a week, then you're basically touching each one of those people about once a quarter. Right. That's all tailored to how big your own personal past database is. So
Right.
it may be that you can call all of them in a month. Right. And so you stretch yourself out to where you're not going to call them every Wednesday. You're going to call them maybe every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, or if you have a very small past database, then maybe you just put that out every 2 to 3 months. Right. But as you have, you've been in the business for so long, I'm sure you have a huge list in your past, even past prospects that may never didn't buy or didn't fulfill that. Well, this can be pretty wide. So that's where I say, hey, just chunk it up, break it down into alphabetical order, and then just choose a certain number of letters for that day, and that'll translate into a certain number of people that you call on that day.
Crystal clear. And the last kudos I want to give, and now I apologize and I appreciate your folks' patience. I'm talking about the other folks on the call.
Mm-hmm.
Is I just want to give you kudos. Is I like how you said we work to live, not live to work. Which obviously I'm still living, baby. I didn't. I
Yeah,
got hit
yeah.
by the car, and I'm still living. And
Well,
at
now
the
you
end
have
of
a
the day,
testimony out of that, right? So it's a comeback story.
oh yeah, the first thing I did after I got out of that accident was actually make follow-up calls to my clients because I was going to show a property, and I actually chewed out my lender. I chewed out my lender because he said, "I'm picking up my kids. I'm going to go." I'm like, I don't care if your house burns down to the ground. I don't want to be signing contracts at in the evening time. You got to connect with my clients. They're not pulling the trigger because they got a question about
Mm,
finances, and so I don't care if your house is burning down to the ground. If you want to go play with your kids, go cut off your damn kids. I got a life too. I need to go make sure that my afternoon, my evening is cool too, because I got the wifey, the girlfriend thing. I don't have a wife and I don't have a girlfriend, but I do have, let's just say whatever you might have is I have a life as well. So I need
yeah,
something done before, you start. I don't give a damn if you're playing with your kids.
sure. Well, you have time for everything, right? You got to fit it in. You got to be available and responsive. And total sidebar, but I had one agent, his name is Jesse, and he was just very reluctant to work with this one lender because he was like, it might take 20 days to get the loan approved, and he's not available evenings or weekends. It's like, how do you even do business that way? But they were, relationship pricing. They were offering a ridiculous pricing through Morgan, and so of course the client was like, well, if I can do it this way, I'm going to try. Right. So, but it's like you were saying, you can't communicate, then what's the point? Because when things go bad, when things come up, you want somebody there that's going to be putting out the fires.
Roger that.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Hey,
Adam.
I just want to say thank you very much. I have to run.
You bet. Hey, and I know I promised you guys there was going to be an announcement, so I'm gonna call each one of you here in the next day or so and tell you what the announcement is. I appreciate you guys getting on the call, and look forward to connecting with you again. Thanks, Phyllis. Drive safe.
Drive safe.
And I'm going to stop the recording right now, but we'll keep. Actually, if anybody else wants to add a question or feedback, I guess Laura, you'd be the one left on the call if you have anything before I stop the recording, just because I feel that this is it's good for other people to hear the questions and the answers.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say thank you so much. That was such awesome information. Thank you. That I really want to touch base again in regards to the relocation concierge you were talking about.
Sure.
Because I feel like just starting out, I would love to have something that is more of a niche thing, like that sets me apart or sets someone apart when they're starting off. So that's something I really would be interested in learning about. And I'm definitely in for your invite.
Okay. Agent Mastermind.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Love to be a part of that. I'm all in for any of that. So please keep me in mind. Let me know.
For sure. Do me a favor, guys. I'm going to give you another email address. It's just my personal. That's ivan@ivanoberon.com. If you can shoot me a quick email, just and ask me, hey, send me the info for the concierge, and what I'll do is I'll actually send you a copy of this presentation too, because it'll have the basic info on the states. It'll have the info on the concierge, just the basics, right, that you can use. And then you would just reach out to me and say, hey, I have this client. I'd love to connect with you to learn more about this. And then I can send them the link directly as well.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll connect with you guys soon. And yeah, absolutely, Adam. Send me a message or a text when you're feeling up to it. We'll connect on the other stuff.